Wow. 37, 34, 28, 25. Hashtag terrible teacher.
Yeah. Low value stuff got you still.
Yeah. Slumlord of Minnesota. There you go. All right. Interesting. So thoughts on the map?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really enjoyed it. I like the differences, the fact that the ships are now doing stuff with iron, and you've got to think about iron differently that you do with a regular game. That made quite a difference. Having to think about differently how you were going to organise your shipping and your iron. And then Chicago being, I mean, I got a lot of points, a fair few points connecting to getting those connected.
Oh, those rail are massive.
Those rail links
Yeah.
pretty juicy.
Yeah. I should have went down there early.
Yeah, I should have. I should have pushed earlier myself because I was into Chicago fairly quickly. So I left it late, but still got that one over there. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting map. It's definitely interested to try it again.
Oh, I'm jonesing to play this map again because it's subtly different. Like it's not massive changes or anything, but it feels significantly different.
It certainly does.
In the way in the end result, I guess, for not a lot of huge difference in the game. And I don't know if I played that well or if it's just the card draw and I was opportunistic. Like things fell to me and I happened to be able to capitalize on them and I was like, hey, let's do that.
You made it. You had a lot of money at the end of the game before you took off.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
And I think that's what took you over the edge.
Yeah.
Well, midway through the game, I felt you two definitely had pulled ahead in terms of the money.
Agree.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it, even though you got stuck?
No. I mean, I didn't realize how the ports can kind of get. There's like a kind of a little bit of that point that happens when you in traffic where the traffic
Merges.
Merges, and if you're not in the merge, then you're actually not in traffic anymore, and you're actually kind of just waiting for the place to go in. So you put your blinker on, and you're like, I'm gonna get in here eventually, and then eventually you can get in there, but you might still have to kind of push a little bit. But this map is actually a lot better. I enjoyed it a lot more than the base map, and I think that this having that little bit of extra rules actually elevates it a little bit more as far as what you have to think about, because giving that extra thing that you need to plan for, so to speak, but it also gave you a little bit of something extra to do. So it's almost too brass. I feel like it's like in between, like this is a little bit higher than the normal.
The base age.
Yeah, it's a little bit more, but it's not as much, so it's kind of like somewhere in the middle. It's a little bit heavier, but not
It's kind of what you want from an expansion map,
Yeah,
right? You want it
exactly.
to be a little bit more than the base.
I thought it was a lot more fun. I felt like sometimes the other game with the other map can get bland, and I'm just because I don't really super enjoy brass. I know it's sacrilege, but I enjoy this because it comes out every once in a while, and playing this map, I kind of don't want to play the other map. I'd prefer to actually play this map.
I'll be honest, out of the 3 maps we played, this is far and away my favorite. I think it's more interesting, and it gives some flexibility while also not forcing overbuilding, but it kind of motivating you to overbuild.
Yeah, I would have planned to overbuild.
And
even.
like caught Shrey off guard, like what he said, like, oh, not because the market's not going to empty. Oh, but wait, it did. And and then being able to capitalize on that on timing. I really think this is a clever yet low overhead as far as rules wise. I vastly like this much more so than both Japan, which is on the other side of the map. So hey, if you get one, you get the other. But I definitely like this more than I did the base map.
I agree that I like this more than Japan. I enjoy what it adds for the coal and iron deliveries and how it changes the value of those.
Right.
Which the iron market is still only 1, 2, 3, and we never really ever got it down all the way to 3. So you're not making a ton of money off when you deliver to the iron demand, but it's still, I still think it's that sort of potentially quicker flipping or needed iron for flipping ships or delivering to the iron markets that are in Grand Forks or Fargo. That provides an alternative path for iron, and I think that's a neat little system. I also appreciate how in this map there are three areas which have higher than normal rail links.
Right, Chicago being the main one.
You got Chicago, right. Duluth, and these two down to Minneapolis and St. Anthony Falls.
Coming off of there, I guess there as well. Yeah.
And it's
well, also this is potentially a full.
Sure, yeah.
These are full.
Right, yeah.
There. Yeah. So that's quite good for rail.
Rail, I think, is a bit more valuable here, and I always undervalue rail because I like building my tokens, but it is something that I think
it did get pretty expensive.
It's
at times,
but it still pays off, I think, because you're maximum paying. I guess you're maximum paying 8, which I don't think anybody would have done that. I think most you paid was 5, right?
5
at one point. Yeah, really needed it.
And then the other thing about this map is that there's an interesting bottleneck for those southern Red Wing, Winona, and
Mankato and Austin, right?
Because if you don't have, so for me, I started up here and then I built into the three cities.
Major city, right? The Twin Cities, technically, but yes.
I never got any color cards that got me down south of that, and so it locked me a bit out of that area, which I think is it provides that extra. You have to think about that. You have to think about where what cards do I need to hold on to in case I want to go down there, or in case I
was locked out of the entire map.
Yeah,
because I started here and I went out that way, and you guys just branched, and I was like, maybe I should take one turn and stick myself in the middle over there. Yeah. And then I didn't do it, and then you guys, it was all gone. I was like, wow, look, I have 2 purple cards in my hand.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with these purple cards?
And that I think that is a valid thing you need to think about as a strategy for this. And it is interesting. We only built 3. You built 3 of the ships, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other 3 were
I
not
wanted to build those ships.
Right.
I was like, this would be cool.
Right, and you did develop 0 with it. And that could have happened, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just cursing myself yet again for getting the fact that you can do the double card
2 for 1. Yeah.
Which is, I know that rule, and yet when you're sitting there thinking, I just need such a card,
it feels like
just as that knowledge just walks away and says, hey, I'm going off for a drink, and leaving me bereft here, doing stupid things when what I needed to do I could have just done with a double card.
If everybody's spending money, then that makes absolute sense, because you drop right to from number 1, and then you can do something in there. But if everybody's not spending money, then you're like, oh, I don't know if I could lose, by getting that new placement.
This is warming up. Like I'm very much warming up on Age of Industry compared to Brass. I understand. I mean, you have a distinct. You're from there,
right?
I get that. But outside of that, you still prefer Brass over Age of Industry?
Yeah, I think so. I like the 2-phase quality of the game. That does definitely add a little bit more to it. I'd say Brass still has, but it's not a big as big a difference as I was expecting.
Okay.
And again with the maps, I mean, I'm not sure that I would necessarily push this that higher than the other 2 maps that we've played, but I could play any 3 of them.
And it adds variety, right?
And I like the variety of the different setting places for them. So, but yes, I mean, I to me, Brass is still a bit better, but it's not so much better that it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with Martin. That's where I am too. Brass Lancashire. I think this is closer to Birmingham for me, but Brass Lancashire is above that. But I still think this is just a hair under. It's not significant. And as we talked about in previous streams, this is an easier game to get easier mentally, and an easier game to sort of get people to agree to, depending on the situation. And we played Brass Birmingham a month ago now, and it was awesome to play. We had the time, we had the energy and impetus to do it, but sometimes you want this.
And the nice thing about this is I don't believe correct me if I'm wrong, none of us have played, I know you weren't in the game, but the three of us haven't played Age of Industry since we last streamed it.
Right.
And I know y'all went over the rules again before coming over for the stream, but outside of that, it took me literally 5 minutes to refresh in my head, and then I was ready to go on this. And I think that is a huge benefit to Age of Industry, because it's just, now, if you're playing Brass on the regular, I get it, but I do think the lower barrier to entry for Age of Industry, for the payoff for me, I think it's starting to outweigh
Yeah, I can understand
for versus Brass. And I think I said that before, but all this is doing is emphasizing that even more.
I actually always ask for this over Brass for my own self, and now I want to play this meta.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
because
fair
I know
enough.
I know they have it, so it's like, oh well, if we're gonna bring that out, then I'm gonna ask for this now, because I'm excited to see other people and how they react with, especially people that play Brass on the regular and saying, oh whoa, look at these markets, they're kind of different. Look, you can sell to the market now, so now there's a whole timing issue that's there. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I dig it.
I'm
I
enamored.
dig it. I'm looking. So, what other maps have we not played yet? Russia.
So there's two-player maps. I think there's so Russia and South Africa, the multiplayer, and then there's Belgium and something else I can't remember.
Okay. So,
Russia and South Africa are the two sort of 4 or 5 player maps.
Right.
We've got the two player maps of Belgium, and I think it's Great Lakes.
Yes.
And then there's also Portugal, which is 3 player map.
Right.
For Portugal.
Portugal, that's a
Print and play?
Print and play. Yeah.
To print and play, I have a copy of it.
so in other words, those 3 are going to be easier to get than to stream than the 2 players. So look for those going forward. Awesome. All right, that's a wrap for tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. This is Martin's first time in a new studio, so
Yeah, and because it's a new studio, we haven't got the thumbs installed. We need the thumbs everywhere. Send them to us.
Oh, to install the thumbs. Thumb installation.
those. Appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. Like, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. Consider supporting us over on patreon.com/HEHQ. I'll be back tomorrow for a solo. And then let me rephrase that. Tomorrow and Thursday are solo days. Yes. One is going to be an Ask the Elephant, the other is going to be World Wonders. I'll let you know tomorrow when I wake up, which I'm in the mood to do. Yay. A little flexibility there. I'm Edward.
I'm Derek.
Trey.
Martin.
Y'all have a good night. Take care. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Thanks for joining us.
Later. And thanks for watching, y'all. Hopefully it was fun or informative or helpful or maybe all of the above or some of the above. If so, consider watching one of those videos and subscribing to the channel. Certainly does help, and maybe even consider supporting us over on Patreon. All of those things really do help the channel. We appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.